Okay, a quick pros and cons list of the Wacom Cintiq 16 or Wacom Cintiq Pro 16, because no one online has reviewed it or talked about it or anything like that, and hopefully this will help people learn a little bit more about it. What I like about it, the screen is very bright. I was not happy with the Mobile Studio Pro 16 screen brightness. I thought it was a little dim. This one kicks up just fine. I can use it indoors in fluorescent lights, and I don't feel like there's a glare on it. It looks great. The pen accuracy is the best it's ever been. It's better than the Mobile Studio Pro, and it's better than any Wacom line of any device they've made. The parallax is gone. They advertised the parallax being gone on the Mobile Studio Pro as well, but there was a little bit of parallax. The cursor wasn't always directly nudged right under the pen. You know, there was a little leeway between moving the pen all the way to the left of the screen to the right of the screen. It would nudge a little bit. It doesn't do it anymore. Completely gone. It's perfectly nudged right under there no matter where you move the pen tip. Oh, it's got little kickstands, which is nice. I don't have to carry around my I think I use an ArtStation D10 or something just for a stand for my Wacom Mobile Studio Pro. I don't need that anymore because this at least has a solution that makes so I don't have to carry something around. So this obviously doesn't have a computer in it, but it does have USB-C, which makes things easy and hard for some situations. There's pros and cons for this as well. This is a good device for hooking up to something that is modern, like a MacBook Pro 2016, which I happen to have, and which is one of the main reasons why I got it. Because it should just, basically, from what I understood, you plug it in to the Wacom Cintiq 16, and then you plug it into the MacBook, and then that's all you need to do, and it works. Unfortunately, it wasn't that simple. There's a bunch of issues with this device hooking up to not only the newest edition of Mac, Sierra, with wobbly lines, and I can attest to that. Yes, this does not work properly on Sierra right now. I hear that there is a fix, not by Mac or by Wacom, but there's a software, I'll put it in the description, that can apparently fix the wobbly lines. I haven't gotten to test it out yet, but there is an issue. Number two, another problem with this, you have to actually, so there's two USB-C ports on this side, and then there's only one on this side. So if you say want to only have cables running from one end and not the other end, it doesn't matter. You always have to have a cable coming out of either both of these ports or this one and one of these, because the MacBook does not supply power to the Wacom Cintiq Pro 16. So there's always a power cable running into this, and then there's always another cable running into this for data and video. So I kind of went into this with the expectation that I'd be able to just plug one cable in and I'd be set. I'd get power, video, and data all in that. Nope, that's not how it works. Data and video is one cable, and then power is another. I think there might be a solution to that. Maybe, I was reading that there are some desktop cards that will send everything out, but they're very specific, and most computers aren't going to have that built into it, and I'm honestly not even sure about it. So maybe there's a solution to it. Not for me on my MacBook Pro though, which is kind of unfortunate. And a third problem with this running on Mac is that for whatever reason, Mac does not want to recognize that this is a 4K display. I had to install, I think it was like a resolution switcher X or something on my Mac just to get this to display in the proper resolution. The Macintosh, my MacBook Pro, would not allow me to bump the resolution up higher than 1440p. It would not go higher than that. I had to install a third-party application to get it to go higher. I don't know why, but I did. And once I did that, it was easy to put in that resolution, but that kind of sucked. So I have a Windows computer as well, thankfully, so I'm able to overcome all these issues, or so you would think. So you use the Wacom link to hook it up to my specific computer, because I do not have a mini display port or a USB-C, I'm sorry, I'll get into the mini display port thing in a minute. I did not have a USB-C connection on my computer. So I had to use the Wacom Link, which converts the USB-C into a mini DisplayPort and a USB cable, a regular USB cable, not a Type-C. And that sucks because it's a lot of cables. You kind of get into a mess, which doesn't super bother me, honestly. I mean, you still have 2 cables running out of this either way, I suppose. You can tuck all the cables behind something if you want. But the main issue is that the Wacom Link, and I called Wacom support, this is what they told me today, the Wacom Link does not support resolutions over 1440p. So you cannot hit the 4K resolution on this if you are using the Wacom Link, which is kind of a bust, because this leads to one of the only issues I've had with this device. And it is that when you're not running at the 4K resolution on this, the cursor gets a little jittery because it seems like the monitor wants to move at the resolution of 4K even though you're not at that resolution, so the cursor kind of jumps around a little bit. I don't think it's enough to affect anything, and I can't really capture it on video because it's so finite, but when I'm not running this device on 4K, and the only reason I'm able to run it on 4K on a Windows system is because I actually hook it up to my Mobile Studio Pro, and that was able to push 4K to this device because I could hook it up directly through USB-C. So can't really use it on the desktop because the wobbling cursor bothers me. Can't really use it on the MacBook Pro yet. I'm hoping that that fix that I heard about will solve my issues because of the wobbly lines. I can use the Wacom Cintiq 16 perfectly on my Mobile Studio 16, which is nonsense. I would never use, there's no reason to use the tablets like that, but this is the only device that this actually works perfectly on. So my options at this point are either buy a USB-C connection for this computer, hope to see that that fix works, or I could put Boot Camp on my MacBook Pro and then run it like that. But that's it. There's nothing more to this. This is a great device. I think this is Wacom's best device so far. They obviously got to get their drivers straight, and they got a bit to figure out on their end. They can't seem to really support their devices as well as they should, but out of any device I've used, I feel like this is the most together one. You know, I tried using this Mobile Studio Pro as my daily driver, but unfortunately I don't work in an industry where I am a creative, so I need a regular laptop, and I could not take this around to me on client on-sites. I couldn't bring it around to me in the meeting room because I had to have a detachable keyboard and everything like that. So I had to switch over to the MacBook Pro, and this works better for the MacBook Pro. This, however, I couldn't keep using, so that's why I kind of cracked and got this. But hopefully this helps someone. If you have any questions about this, let me know. But I think that kind of covers everything. I couldn't really think of anything else. Yeah. That's it. See ya.